Yeah, yeah.
And doing all that, and
well,
the name that's coming after this thing.
Yeah.
Because the lad found it all when he was in jail, and deposition things, it named all the top ones, and all the most of them from around here.
Hey Don, can you hear them? Don.
How you done, mate? Great lad, Don.
Can you hear him?
Yes, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Great friends on again, Kev Kelty. Yeah. Right, guys, we're going to start. There's 11 on, 15 on, so we might as well start. Kevin's back. Kevin, tell the folks where you've been.
Well, literally, I've been helping my son out with advising with the pub and that. My son Jack and he's and we've been getting it decorated and that. So it's been a busy few weeks. And then with the COVID setback and that, and
what was that?
So it's the Leeds Hotel, but they call it Kilty's Bar as well.
Oh, Kilty's Bar, that's better.
So it's starting to pick up. It's good for them, they're learning, they're doing a good job there actually. And the customers are in. You had some really nice people in. Keeping the idiots don't really come in, to be honest with you, for obvious reasons.
You don't want them in, do you?
So they're giving it a wide berth,
I'm getting a job on the door there, so behave yourself.
Yeah, rise the door, yeah. We've had a few good visits from Carl come and see us.
Oh, yeah.
Valley and Sam, they're both looking good. Richard's been in a few times.
Oh, well with the fight, didn't he? Simon,
excellent.
The world's strongest man now.
And he's been boxing, training this big Thor for. A lot of years, and Simon decked him twice. And I think he made some.
I think he was told not to knock him out. Simon. If Simon went to the knockout, he would have got it. Because big difference between bodybuilding and professional boxing is massive.
I think Simon just wanted to prove a point by knocking him down twice without knocking him out. But then again, this Thor afterwards. Became great friends with Simon, the world's strongest man, who's in the Game of Thrones and that. Right. And he had a butter shirt on, saying up the butter, so the butter known worldwide.
Simon could end up in movies and all sorts because that lad's obviously he's in contact with him also. Good to how God works at mysterious way. How's Richard been getting on?
Richard's been doing really well. He had 2 races last week, won them. But he's also had a little bit of a groin strain tear, which is slightly concerning because it's Olympic trials this week. But hopefully he'll be all right. But these things happen.
What is he running now? What races?
Well, this weekend he's running the 200 meters for Olympic trials.
Right.
But he's also part of the A squad for the relay team.
What does that mean?
He's in the A team for the relay squad. It's like a 6-man team,
Right.
And
will that be the 2x200?
No, the 4x100.
4x100,
and he's the third leg. And well, the last time they were unlucky not to be world champions, actually, they got world silver champions.
I remember.
And the incoming runner to Richard pulled his hamstring. Luckily, well, normally they got disqualified. Richard was that switched on. He eased off go and got the baton and passed it to the last leg runner. They ran the fastest time ever in European history, not just British history, in European.
How little Richard
talking about Limited Christie and all that crowd. So to be one of the the record holders of the European, that's great. The other thing I was going to have a quick chat about was especially yourself and our friends in Scotland, Falkirk, John, and that, and the other lads in Scotland, was the football match the other night. England v Scotland, you
were lucky of Scotland, they should have won, I thought.
Well, Scotland actually played really well, and England didn't play too well. If I would have my choice, I'd like England and Scotland to go through for obvious reasons. But in respect to the Scots the other night at the pub, which became a really good, funny talking point, and the lads thought I was kidding. We had a big poster put up outside, England v Scotland, kick-off 8 o'clock Friday, and half-time food, haggis. So I got some genuine Scottish Maxwell haggis and done what everyone loved it. They left the fucking cheese, the English cheddar cheese was left alone. No one wants the English cheddar.
It's cheap stomach, isn't it?
Yeah, and beef tart and all sorts,
all good stuff. But I've never tasted it myself. Because
it's actually tasty, it's nice,
There was another one up there, it's called Stovies, and it's beans, potatoes, mince, onions, and carrots all mixed.
So it is,
and it's a cheap way for feeding a big family, so you're struggling. Probably in somewhere in Liverpool it's called Scouse, or everywhere has their where you make a quick tea, can you?
And in Ireland they have similar, but if you notice all these foods, such as what you're saying, they're all very high in calories and energy, aren't they? So even though people weren't qualified in nutrition, and you are feeding, give you energy, you know, and
fills you up with it. So it fills you up with a bit of bread and that, a bit of butter.
Well, what I'd like to know is what kept the weight on and made William Wallace so big, because by all accounts he was a massive bloke, you know, your size, and you know, maybe not your weight, but a really big, tall, powerful man, you know, and you think of them like
the English got it that day, didn't they?
Yeah, well, sorry, the Englishes were out of order there, and at the Battle of Bannockburn, you know,
they got knackered because we only had the little claymores, the Scottish.
Yeah,
they had they got horses, and they actually got stuck in the mud. That's what got them caught. And they were coming in and getting them, and then the fight, when they had the big fight where it was all just mainly kids.
Yeah,
and that's how proud of Scotland is. That's songs about the kids fighting the English.
But the Battle of Bannockburn was well, I went there when I went to visit the Wallace Monument with Luke when Luke was a kid about 10 years ago, and we went up to see Falkirk John, who lives not far from Bannockburn, and we went in to see the museum and the place where the Battle of Bannockburn was. And you look at it and you look on the film of Wallace, even though it wasn't at there filmed, wherever the film was similar, and just the trees in the background.
Could you feel like they're as if they were there?
I felt spiritually as if you knew what happened there. You know, it was. I'd love to go there again. It was really
I'd like to go there with you.
Haunting in a nice way, you know. And Luke, my son, put a replica of the Bruces on, you know. And so we love Scotland. We love Wallace. You know. So England match tomorrow night as well, and Scotland play.
Who do they play tomorrow?
England play Czech Republic, and Scotland play Croatia. So technically, Scotland have still got a chance of qualifying, and you know.
I remember the old days. I used to go with a lad called John. John, second name now. From Scotland, obviously from Scotland, we used to go and he used to look like Sean Connery, and he actually used to do the stunts with Sean Connery. He used to wear the dog as a red cap, and he used to have the cigar, and he used to play golf and everything. And he's on a skiing thing. It's not real, but he's doing a few stunts for him. We went to see when the English were playing, they'd have to have all the police around them because they'd be fighting them, obviously because of the carry on 100 years ago. But when the Irish went, the Scots used to just drink with the Irish, and or when the Welsh went, they were all right. But when the English come, they had to separate them from the Scots. You know, it was but that had been a bloodbath. But
you know, going back to the Scottish history and that, I like quite a lot. I love Rob Roy. That's a great film. You know, and obviously William Wallace, Braveheart, a great film. You know, you could have played the part of Wallace. I'd have had to be Irish Stephen, mind you, by the way, you know. Well, do you know what happened is Black Friday is named Black Friday because the Knights Templar, what the Knights Templar were, I went around for the Catholic Church to try to get things like the Covenant and things like that. So they thought the Pope said to stealing all the stuff here. So they got a tip off that they were going to kill him on Friday the 13th, Black Friday. So they all went to Scotland and they stayed there for 500 years, you know, generations of them. And they never lost a war once. And when they left, the English come and beat them. For their Knights, that's for the Knights. It's unbelievable.
But a lot of Scottish are really Danes, like Bjornsson and Icelandic and Vikings went there because it was easy to grow food compared to where they went. So our family, the McGiverns, go back to the 11th century in the Vikings. I've got a thing somewhere. I'll bring it out next time. I'll bring it. But my Uncle Tam went right the way back to my ancestry, 11th century.
But some great stories about Wallace. I read the book on him, about 600 pages, and they don't realise how violent he was, you know, and you know, when he'd go to people and ask them, you didn't see it all in the film, but and obviously
too brutal to the film.
Too brutal, and apparently he could talk French, couldn't he? You know, and which you seen in the film, So I love Scotland. I intend to go back there soon. And Scotch Falkirk Johnson is bringing some quality eggs down for you. You know,
brilliant.
But anyway, on the other hand, just to other people, this is first time I've been back with Bryce since the night before he went in hospital. And when he first came out of hospital, it looked quite concerning, to be honest with you. And we were all a little bit worried. And then Bram was helping him with the steps and ID and, you know, lots of other people helping, and now he just seems to be getting
that
really
day
back to it.
We were praying, and I was talking, everyone was nearly crying. It was like so
was
spiritual, wasn't it? Everyone's Holy Spirit was definitely here. Bram was bad, and we all were all like sick for it. But God said I'd get through it, and I am getting through it.
The recovery in the last 2 weeks is, week or so I've seen bright.
There's a few of the idiots from
unbelievable.
The idiot up the road saying he's a dead man walking, calling Marty and me saying waiting for Heaven's Gate or something. So here I am, walking. Absolutely pathetic.
You just, that idiot. Hopefully everyone gives him a wide berth, and
we've been really good. Just not really doing any training, just like stretching. Emma's never stopped me. Wife, she's absolutely brilliant, been helping me, getting me out of the bed. I'm 20 odd stone. She's pulling me up and getting me down, and it's been really hard. But she's never let me down once.
But healthy wise, you look really healthy now.
I feel good.
I think you just got to not overly push it. You're doing really well. Just do your physio exercises bit by bit.
When they said I was paralysed and you won't walk for 2 years and 3 months, and I went, you never said this before the operation.
I know.
So anyway, I got out the bed, sneaked out the bed, and hands working a lot better now.
A lot better,
The other one's a bit
better,
but it'll get there. But I had the physios out, and said it's really strange that the patient knows more than the physios.
Well, you always did, didn't you? I actually, we know a little bit more than the fucking doctors.
I said to the doctor, he said, I said, do you know much about the human body? He said, well, I am a doctor. I said, I said, I can name all the bones. He said, so can I? I said, but I can do them in Latin. He was laughing his head off.
And also, Bri, another good thing he's doing, which I've been, even though I haven't been round there, I've seen him on the Facebook and what have you, getting plenty of daylight, sunlight in, vitamin D, which is good for everyone to get out there, go and sit and look at the trees. Even I was the other day, I was in the car and went somewhere and just sat and watched the green.
It's just great. I mean, Matty Turner's he's been like a rock. He's been picking me up, feeling a bit down some days.
That's good, Matty. Yeah, good lad.
Takes me down the countryside. We went to the Gare the other day. We had fish and chips. We just sat there. I said, "Just be quiet." We all sat quiet, and I thought, "Listen to the gods, the birds, the waves." The wind blowing. I thought it's unbelievable.
It's the best
free in it.
Therapy and relaxation in the world. You can go whether it's the seaside, anywhere. It might be in the middle of a cemetery with green trees or whatever, and you can just sit there. Best health and medication.
It does. Your brain just calms down.
So happy and
serotonin just poof.
And realise there's nothing to worry about in life.
What if this happens? What
if that happens? What if this happens?
What if it doesn't?
A lot of years ago, I used to have probably because of my kids, and I wanted to see them grow up, and there'd been a few times where I'd actually came across people where a couple of them had saved their lives, that had heart attacks or they'd been in the pool and that, and I've got a little bit of phobia about death now. I'm not really scared about it all, because the thing is, what I'm looking forward to about death is when I'm dead, I won't know I'm dead.
No, you don't know.
I won't know I'm dead.
They used to say to me, Duffy used to say, "You just don't give a shit, do you? You can get doors in the what if they stood behind the door with a shotgun?" I said, "Well, you can only kill you."
You only kill you.
And he looked at me. Crazy. When you're younger, you don't care so much, but you're older, you think about your family, don't you?
You think about your family. You worry about your kids and you
also think
loved ones.
You want to get up every day to another bonus, and you go to bed to another bonus.
Yeah.
But like you say, there's nothing better than God's creation, the sky, the grass, and the birds whistling. Like this time of day, we sit up the back. I've got to make upstairs and lay on the bed.
I know.
I listen to the birds.
I'd sit laying on the bed, listen to the birds.
Yeah, beautiful.
Having the window open, a little bit of a breeze.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Even I know a couple of people. One person in particular, I won't mention him. Nice lad, but he's obsessed with the weather. And all he talks about the weather, and he says, "Ooh, I reckon it's bad weather tomorrow." Oh, I reckon so. And his whole life he talks about the weather, and it just goes to his head. So when he says,
get a job on the news.
When it's been thunderstorms, he comes in and he says in the pub, "Oh, it was terrible yesterday, wasn't it?" I said, "I thought it was great." I said, "I went out for a walk and that, and that lightning and rain.
Yeah,
I love that nature." And he's looking at me, he says, "Are you a lunatic or what?"
What I do, like the lightning, the rain, and I actually like going to the caravan for the rain hitting the roof. When my mum used to have, my dad used to get their hot dogs and watching the old black and white film for the old portable or something. Yeah, it's good.
That sound of the rain and nature and
tranquil,
seeing the greenery, it's priceless, you know, and it costs nothing, doesn't it? Yeah.
Instead of just sitting in the house, sit in the bedroom taking drugs like an idiot day and night. Where you get it next door from, get him 200 quid off him, borrow money off people you couldn't pay back, and lying to people saying, oh, it's just to pay the bills, or it's just to pay this.
Yeah.
And then you realise now what an absolute load of nonsense.
But it's
but I got out of that hole.
It's good you realise that, and not many people get out of that, you know.
And I was in that hole and I couldn't get out, and I couldn't get out, and then I thought one day, you can get out.
Yeah.
And I got out, and now life's just brilliant.
I mean, that's a miracle to get out, you know, of stuff like that, you know, especially.
Over 2 years, I haven't taken anything for over 2 years, and I don't intend to take anything out
it's
again.
Brilliant, isn't it? Because the thing is, it's a worthless, that type of drug is a worthless drug anyway, and it's a nothing.
You have a go, and then you another go.
Yeah.
You spend, I have spent £1,000 on it, and then you want to spend another 1,000. Another thousand, it doesn't do nothing, just makes you paranoid, and you get worse and worse.
Yeah.
But being off it, being like married with Emma and everything, getting off, life's just so good and brilliant. And the days fly. But when you're on that, you're not actually living, you're existing, and you're putting your life at risk, you're putting your family's life at risk, you're not putting food on the table for your kids, and it's horrible.
It's probably not as if you're having a glass of wine or a joint, you know, don't smoke joints, or it's nothing about it, is it? You know, if you had £1 billion on that, and you were in the best place in the world, you would be in hell, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would be in hell. It's that, you know.
The richest man on the planet.
You know, the best food in the world, you wouldn't be bothered or whatever, you know.
You could have everything you wanted, and you were addicted to that. You'd take the crack every time.
Yeah.
That's the addiction. You know, there's a sports car. Do you want the sports car, the crack? You take the crack because the addiction's the mental thing, and it's a horrible mental thing, but you can break it because I've broke it. Other people have broke it, so don't think there's no way out. There is, but I think God's the best way out. You've got to pray to God and help. And he will help you.
That belief in yourself. I think there's, you know, this crack cocaine, like, I know it's horrible, but I think the thing is, what you should do is replace it and get them all off it and just give them that agasai. I think to sort them out, John Scott.
Well, the best thing in the world for me is we Tony Granger that comes and we pray. Brown comes and we talk to Carl, Carl Valley, and really good lad, Carl. And
great lad, in here.
Really good.
Great lads, yeah.
And lovely Christians and that. And we're all talking, and I said, we're all brothers, and he was going, go on, Bri, because I'm being poorly.
Yeah.
Coming to see us, they said, the next few days.
Yeah.
But it's great to have them on your back, you know, like as Christians, and we all help each other. One will be down, he'll phone him, and he'll phone him, we phone each other, and you've got that, and God's with you as well. Yeah. But you get, it's infectious because you get addicted to it, because you do. And it's a good high you get, like Bram said, and you don't cost nothing.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel great.
Yeah. And even when you learn to do that, when you're on a bit of a downer, you got to train your mind to think this is only for a short period of time, you know, and you bring yourself back out.
I always say, I know people hear me, I say it's a bit like the weather. You sit there, all of a sudden, boom, thunder and lightning. Here's the depression coming, but that thunder and lightning will go just as quick as
it goes and comes, and the sun comes.
That's the same as depression, Kevin.
Yeah, you know? And as I say, to accept all weathers, don't think because it's pissing down with rain, thunderstorm, embrace that, or the bad weather, the snow, or whatever, you know, the sun, the wind, everything, you know.
It's like me the last week or so, I've been in agony with the pain because for 14 years that was trapped. The big number I was wrong with, thought it was carpal tunnel, but it wasn't. For all them years it was bad, and starting to get better now. But what's happening now? It's like having a circuit board and it's sending the signals all over. What's it making me abs? But I've lost about 1.5 stone of fat. I've not lost any muscle hardly because I've not been hardly training or anything. I've just been sitting about. But it's given me a rest, and I think what's happening now?
You're right there, recovery.
I'm growing through resting.
Yeah.
And I've trained right up to the day before I went in hospital. I'm resting and the muscles recovering.
Yeah, and
the body's recovering. But what's hurt? I'm hurting. My feet are hurting a bit, and this is hurting. I thought, I read up it's a good thing because it's proved the nerves are coming back.
Yeah, the nerves are coming back and your muscles are knitting back together. Nerves are starting to fire in all directions, you know what I mean?
It's a bit like a circuit board when you start
that's exactly what it is, It's like a circuit board, and it's starting to illuminate back up again,
He said, what's the most powerful computer in the world? I said, it's your brain, isn't it, Kevin?
Brain, absolutely, Martin's not like I'm a bloody idiot at times, you know what I mean? A weakness I've got, I don't think there's a weakness, but I've had it since I was a kid. And my dad used to say, my son, our Kevin, he's not right in the head, he's a good lad, but he's not right. He attracts idiots. He attracts down and out, but I didn't. I used to feel sorry for them.
Maybe not hitting at me there.
Not in that brag, not in that brag. But not, I was on about strange people, you know, like if anyone knows the karaoke singers down Middlesbrough, Rock and Robin. You know, one and half a man, the two brothers, one's half a man, one's Rock and Robin, and they both thought I was their manager, because I used to get them picked up to go to the bandboxes, and the Winniebanks lads will know this. There was one called Desmondo Domingo. He's probably dead now. He used to sing Buddy Holly. It doesn't matter anymore. There was
like something funny.
One called Bubbles, who used to sing Johnny Mathis and bring his own song sheets. And I was that entertaining by him, being idiots in a nice way.
Yeah.
That I brought them to think they were bandbox and karaoke superstars.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm surprised that dickhead Jamie Boyle hasn't wrote a book on one of them by Rock and Robin, you know.
Yeah. So what you've been up to today? Anything?
I've just been today. I've just been doing a little bit of the boards, you know, for the match tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the little things.
Taking the Scotland sign out. Give Melanie a lift up to.
Do you have a television in there with it on?
Yeah, we've got like 1, 2, 3 or 4 with it on. Yeah, right. But the other night with the Scotland match, it was really good atmosphere, you know.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't get the result they wanted, in one way, if they'd have got the result and they got 3 points and they were on 6, they were through.
Yeah.
But even it makes it more exciting that tomorrow we know, and Scotland know whether they're going to go through or not.
Yeah.
So as far as the pubs are concerned, the pubs should be more busier tomorrow.
Yeah, because both teams.
Because of that.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I say at half time, we're going to put some Czech food on at half time. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
What's Czech food?
Well, Czech food, bits of garlicky sausage and stuff like that, and cheeses and stuff like that. I was going to put some to dedicate for the people in Artington Road where they're down out. I was going to put some Artington Road food on, but that'd mean me putting bowls of nothing on the table, you know. But I'll go down there and feed them one of these days. Actually, I should have took them a load of haggis. Shouldn't have, the Artington Road lot? Yeah, cool. And I do like them. Yeah, you know.
Why don't we go to Kevin's pub one day?
We will do that.
When you get sorted,
Get me sea legs.
Yeah. You know, talking about COVID, another thing I did, and I double checked this as well a number of times. Most of the lads who were on drugs and lasses who were on drugs at Artington Road, I know quite a lot of them, and I've helped quite a lot of them, not to give them money for drugs, but you know, food and things like that, and stop and talk. Yeah. And quite a while ago, I asked a few of them, have you had any COVID tests? Have you had any COVID tests? Quite a lot hadn't, but a hell of a lot of them had COVID tests. And there's a house there where there's at least 20 or 30 of them congregating in a small area all over last year. Summer, the lot.
We drove down here, didn't we?
And not one of them's had a positive COVID test.
Weird that.
No, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Don't tell me that heroin's the antidote.
No. Yeah, so, but no, it's been, it should have been end of lockdown today.
Go down there tonight, there'll be about 3,000 people. You've got a bag, please.
Yeah, hey, Kev, you said you were going to give us something. Yeah. Where's the haggis, you know? Yeah. Where's the haggis?
Yeah. No, Paul Kirk, John, talked to you tonight, weren't we?
Yeah, he's a great bloke, John, you know. He's always on the...
That was what he's Mr. Central.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? Yeah.
I thought for me, though, for him.
Yeah. He's coming down in the next few weeks, actually, so he'll probably stay at the pub. We've got him a Scotch room there.
Right.
Tartaned out and that,
sounds good, mate. I might have that for myself, that one.
We might even get him a William Wallace, so as long as he doesn't take it outside the pub, like.
Yeah.
But Falkirk, John, like you, he's very similar to you in this manner. He will only wear shorts.
Well, he sounds like a Scotsman.
He only wears shorts, you know.
Tough as nails.
Yeah, he's a great lad, yeah. He drank all McGuinness when we were last at the pub, like, but I was pleased to give him it for nothing as well, you know.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I used to like a bit of Guinness. I used to train for not the competition, but train for like to get big and strong. I'd have like a little Mackerson or something.
Mackerson was I did when I was training. Mackerson, that was like a sweet stout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like I used to have a little bit of lemonade and it was really good.
Yeah, Mackerson with a bit of lemonade.
Iron, isn't it?
Oh, very, very good. That and Guinness, the stout, yeah.
Call it for food, don't they?
Yeah. But yeah, it's Falkirk John's bringing you some eggs down, you know.
Maybe what's the funniest thing you've ever seen? Someone's asked.
The funniest thing I've ever seen. There's a number of things actually. Some of them I can put on. Some of them I can put on video. I've probably got a top 10 of funny things, you know. Let me think as we're talking. But a number of things. No.
I'm sure Brad tells you all the time. Anyway, but he's lucky as you're looking after him. Oh,
but that's true.
One of the cheekiest things I've saw, and funniest at the time, was listening to a police scanner, and it wasn't doing any crime, but listening to a police scanner. And them days, Lima 1, Lima 2, so and so, and we just sat there listening in the house for entertainment purposes. You can get the shipping on it and all sorts. Lima 1, Lima 2, you know, traffic control, armed response here. We've just seen Brian Cockerill. We're going to try and tail him, but from the front of his vehicle, meaning we're going to try and follow you, but hope you would. And he said he seems to be going in our direction. Lima 1, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he's flashing us. Cockerill's flashing us. He's in the Cosworth. He's flashing. Just drive on, drive on. He's right above our tail end. He's pull over, see what he wants. He says, he's getting out the car, he's getting out the car. Lock your doors, officers. He's knocking on the window, wind the window down. Yeah. What's the problem? And Brian, what the fuck are you doing speeding? You're doing 60 and a 40 mile an hour. So it was Brian pulling the coppers up the speed.
That was the horse and jockey. It was
just speeding.
He said he only pulled us up for speeding.
He only pulled us up for speeding. What should I do? Or just drive off, leave him, ignore him.
It was me and Paddy Watson in that car that day, because Paddy had the scanners.
So that was a funny one. There's lots.
You won't believe what he's done. He's only pulled us up for speeding. Yeah. Then they kept following us. The drug squad, the crime squad, and everything. It was me and Speedy. So one day we said, "Fuck it, we're going to follow them." So we started following them all over. The next minute, 8 police cars surrounded us. What are you doing? I said, well, it must be their turn. Tig, you're on now, and they just started laughing. Yeah.
Another funny thing. Anyone from Winniebanks will know this. There used to be a bloke called Dennis Grayson. Lovely bloke, but he got frightened by some fireworks and went a little bit not all there. And he ended up becoming really untidy, unkempt, scruffy. He was about maybe 60-year-old, used to have a tie around his waist, trousers falling down, dinner all over his face. But we used to befriend him and look after him and let him in the house, give him a breakfast and that. But every day he had this habit of walking over to our house in Winniebanks, just picking the phone up, saying, no, hello, police, it's just Dennis here, Dennis Grayson, just to tell you, I think there's going to be a robbery tonight, and he was dead serious. I think there's going to be a post office job done, actually, I don't think it's Kevin Kilty, because he would know, but if he is, I'll grass him up if it is him. Also, I believe that behind the Cabbage Club, there was a female rape last night, he said, because I found some socks on the ground, and I think they were lady socks. But he was a.
And he used to phone the paper up then, because he said his toes to the light.
He said his toes to the light.
Nine. But you've got to fire me out quick to get there. His toes there. Just the black nose, the black goes black.
Fire brigade, fire brigade come all
the time. He
sat
with me and Kevin would ask him about the Beatles. So I said, what was this about the Beatles? Oh, he said, well, like York and all, and I was sleeping with her. He said, John Lennon was getting jealous. He said,
convinced.
This was them serious as
not
hell.
Joking.
He was going, I said, no, yeah. He said, they were devastated. And we need a new song. We need a new name for this song. He said, I just looked out the window and I seen these strawberry fields. I said, Strawberry Fields Forever. And that was, he said, I named that song. And I started laughing. He's kicking me, Kevin, keep him going. He really, really believed he named that song, Strawberry Fields Forever.
He just said, love to you and Kit about Kev's early stories from Winniebanks, absolute legend he is round here.
Oh, thank you, thanks. But there was some great stories. And going back to Dennis again, a couple of the young lads, not nastily, they thought, oh, we leg his windows. Dennis had just cleaned all these windows, sparkling, really good. First time he cleaned them in about 18 years, and cleaned them. He went in, and the young lads, only about 9 or 10, got eggs and shot a dozen of them at his window. And he come out, opened the door, dead quick, and they ran away laughing. Went back in, he got a plate and a scoop and scooped them off. He said, I'll scramble them fuckers later. And he did.
Somebody said, Simon Page said, great to see you laughing, Brian, and getting better, big man. Yeah. And great to have Kev back on. We've missed it. could you both give us a shout out? It's my birthday, so to Simon Page, can you both
Simon
Page,
very, very happy birthday to you, and have a good day.
And don't drink too much.
And remember, it's the longest day of the year today, you know. Yeah, longest day of the year, longest daylight day of the year, you know. I remember another story we were just telling today about when we had the Astronaut pub, and it was the longest day of the year. And there always was a little bit of sentimentality, you know what I mean? Especially if it's not cloudy, sometimes light till 10:30. And Melody was on the bar, and a couple of the old blokes come in. She was working from 11 till closing time. And they come in 10:10, it's still light. We looked outside. Longest day of the year today, Mel. No, it's not. Another one come in. Hey, Kev, longest day of the year today. Kev, yeah, it is. And shout me up, said, what do they know? It's the longest day of the year for. How do they know? Another one come in. Hey, longest day of the year today, Mel. She said, I'm telling you what, it's not the longest day of the year at all. I've been on this bar since 11 o'clock, and I think it's flew past. It's a true story, but
people do some bad things, don't they? They do.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great, everyone, to see Bri getting back to normal, and we'll be doing more regular podcasts.
Thank you for all the support out there, and all the people at the hospital, the doctors, everything for helping us, and mainly my wife, and Kevin coming, and Heidi and Bram, and the kids, their family, and just Marty Turner, and
well wishes from all over. And thanks also for the funds, because you've seen Brian's getting some more better.
Yeah, we've got more stuff. Yeah,
shortly you'll be able to, with the extra funds, get some stuff to do outside in some nice places.
Well, the camera we've got at the top is really good. The picture now we can see really clarity. We've got the lights, we've got microphones, we've got all sorts of things now.
Someone said you're looking really well, Brian. I've been following your recovery, you're spurring me on. I had a brain op last year, and it lost the use of my left side, but it's all coming back. Keep it up, big man.
Who's that there, Emma? Who is it?
It's called K-Stap.
Yeah, good.
K-Stap. Well, keep your chin up.
Best wishes, and keep you positive.
Just keep positive, man. When you're feeling down, and you'll have them days. I've had them myself.
But
it will go. Just keep thinking, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. When you start saying to yourself you're not going to get better, then you get that brainwashing yourself. Well, just keep positive, and you will get there.
I'm just trying to find that lady.
Another quick funny story. There's a lad called Sweetie Peter Armand, who we know. Do you know him?
Not sure.
Sadly, he won't mind me telling you this, but anyway, he suffers a little bit now with memory loss and whatever, but he's very funny, a good lad, very strong as well, really hard worker. But he's not quite firing on all cylinders, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But we look after him, help him out, good lad. And a number of years ago, about 20 odd years ago or more, he was driving up the road, Norton Road, to turn right on his push bike into Talry. As he was turning right, a United bus, single decker bus, hit him full on, head on, smashed his skull up, really ill, literally died. He was in hospital in a coma for 8 weeks, nearly died. Came out of hospital, dents all in his head, everything.
Yeah.
And the United bus firm sent him a bill for 800 quid for the damage his head done to.
You're joking.
Yeah, to the
somebody last night called Rick Cooper, right? Got in touch with him and said, "Hi Brian, you're so good, mate. Me and my mum watch you every day. My mum loves you. Maureen is 76 and all there. And I love her, Brian. Keep your amazing work up." From little Ricky. So can you say
little Ricky and Maureen, thanks for watching, and thanks for the support, and we hope we make you laugh and make your day.
76.
76. What an inspiration there. Brilliant.
76-year-old there.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Great.
It's great stuff, that. Yeah, so I haven't met some really funny characters. This lad I was on about, Sweetie Petey. I'm going to tell a little bit of a funny story about him. I was going down Manchester, I think it was the warehouses one time. I said, "How are you with us, Pete?" And we were driving down. And as we were driving down, as you pass Weatherby, it'll say, you see big signs just before the service station, all them, tiredness kills. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Tiredness kills. Then pull over, have a cup of coffee. Yeah. Meaning you don't want to be tired when you're driving. All the way down. I said, "Can you read them, Pete?" He says, "Yeah." And he's looking dead concerning. Tiredness kills. On the way back again, I was going, "Look, tiredness kills." Anyway, as he got out of the car, he looked dead worried. He said, "I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow." And I said, "Oh, all right, Pete, come back." He said, "So what you been?" "I've been to the doctor's." I said, "What for?" He said, "Just to tell him I'm dying." I said, you are? He said, I went to the doctors today and said, doctor, I'm dying. He said, how do you know? He said, I'm tired. The doctor said, what's that got to do with it? He said, well, I've seen 10 signs on the motorway saying tiredness kills. The doctor giving me these heavy duty antidepressants. Yeah, it's a true story, that.
There's one in Redcar that reminds me of the bus in there called Big Bird, and he got run over by a bus outside the Redcar Workingmen's Club. Yeah. But it really did cause him loads of injury and proper brain injury and all that. Anyway, so it went on for years, his claim against him. He had a massive claim because he was really injured. And just as he'd started using his hands and stuff, he was helping the next door neighbour move a table, and the bus depot had the insurance people watching him for all that time. And we're just about to stop watching him. It was about a week before payout, and they got him and they never got a penny. Terrible, that, isn't it?
My same mate Peter, he decided foolishly to buy himself one of them Rev and Go motorbikes. And this is again 15 years ago, and they told him this. He went to Tilson's, and they usually just show you didn't need a license and to Rev and Go. And he went there 3 days on the trot, and they couldn't do it with him, so they just said, "Oh, just take it." So he took it, and he come to our house with the helmet on, and he said, "Have you seen me bike? Have you seen me bike?" And oh yeah, he said, "Everyone knows me. Everyone knows I've got a new bike." I said, "I would have known, Pete." I said, "You've got a crash helmet on." He said, "Oh, they know me. They keep bibbing the on." I said, "Is there any particular movement to it or routine?" He said, "It's usually when I'm near the traffic lights." And I says, "Do you know what colour to stop on?" He says, "I'm not sure." He said, "I don't know." He said, "I just know there's some traffic lights." So he's on red, he's going through and they're all bibbing and he's waving, thinking they know him, you know. Everyone knows. See, I've always been surrounded by idiots. Bry's been the most sanest he is around us, you know. Yeah. I've nearly sent him over the edge a few times.
What's the funniest thing you Brian have done?
Oh, that many.
Just Sean Flaherty, solicitor. Can I ring you later on? And if I'm allowed to tell, I'll tell it in the next episode. The funniest thing. But there's been a number of ones, you know, quite a few of them. One in particular, when very seriously, there was me and Michael Flanagan. I was in the back of the car, Michael in the front, and Bry at the side. You know, 23 stone, then Bry in the window down. And we're going down a big roundabout. And a big Arctic come on the inside, and it was literally a foot or two away from us, and Michael was trying to get over towards the other side of the roundabout. There's no room, and Bryce said, "Don't worry," he said, "I'll just push it out the way if it comes over." You remember that?
Yeah. We've done those bunches.
Yeah, a few times, wasn't there? Yeah, some great stories.
We used to have some good times in the gym and all.
Yeah, and the gyms were knockout, you know, when you know, say Bry with his leg press, or someone would be doing a really, or what they thought was heavy bench, and we tried to get one rep out there like 250, 300, and Brian go over and say, "Can I join in a minute, mate?" Yeah. What you doing? Are you doing triceps? Barbell curls, and Brian get in. You know? People actually used to stop training when Brian went in the gym.
Yeah.
But they used to go when he was in the gym. So if they knew he went to the Arm Fitness World, the Bill Boyd's at 6 o'clock, it would be chock-a-block, but no one was training, but they'd be on a machine, sneakily looking at Bry, you know, and wanting to see him, because the strength was unbelievable, and the crack with Bry Flaherty was unbelievable.
Bill Boyd, he was funny.
Yeah. Bill Boyd loved Bry. He idolised him. Yeah. Idolised him. Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you how much Bill Boyd liked Bry, because Bill Boyd's dead now, God bless him. But he used to have long arms and very short pockets where he didn't like to spend any money. But he once actually bought Bry a cup of coffee. Yeah. Didn't he? Remember that? Yeah. And then what he did is ask me to pay for it.
He took me to Mr. England in Caterham, Newcastle, like that. And Donny Yates was there. He was thinking, but he was big. Anyway, big table, about 12 as that, and he shook my hand. I never got to speak to him. And then when he got on stage, wow, unbelievable. He did a lat spread, and you couldn't see through his arms. His calves were just unbelievable. Lovely lad, like.
Everything just
unbelievable.
Skin condition, colour, perfect.
Called him the shadow, because he come behind you as the shadow. And he used to say that about me. You and Bride come because the sun used to get blocked out.
I took the clips of the sun every day, 5 times a day when you can't walk down many banks. You know what
I mean? I remember doing triceps. Somebody was benching 400 pounds, which is a lot. Marty, who's another one I trained with him. I was doing £350 tricep press. Yeah, doing tricep, yeah. Then another one was doing £300 deadlift. I said, "You finished?" And yeah, and I got it. I started curling it with a 40 kg curl, going, "Kevin, what time we got that thing? And I'll do it. Just take the piss."
As if he was warming up with it, but you know.
And I tell you, used to go mad about Paul Epstein. He said, "Brian, you've got every 20 and every 25 key plate in the gym on the leg press, and you've got Mark Johnson sitting over the 50 key dumbbell, Ali Johnson with a 50 key dumbbell, Kev Kilty, such and such." He said, "You've got anyway." Paul used to sit there. He said it was about. Everyone used to be cheering me on, didn't in the gym.
Some of them bars are still in the back of Denny's behind the sauna. What you've bent that much, you know.
Yeah. Still there?
Yeah, still there. Yeah.
A
lad went in a couple of years back and said, "Who's bent them bars? You together?" I said, "No, Black Cock."
Yeah. we were at a place when we as Conley's and the lad said, "I remember, was it Ray the other week who was going to fix the car?"
What was he called?
He said, "Oh, I remember when you used to be squatting £700 like 30 odd years ago. No one was even doing it in the world."
Got the book on it,
I can't remember his name now. From Redcar.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he was there.
I tell you, who's been putting a few good posts on. I totally agree with him. Some of the fools, and I call them fools, who train and should know much more about health. The oddballs have disagreed with him. But Eddie Elwood's put some great posts on about this COVID and medicine and facts of where people are running scared. And it's good to reassure people it's not as damaging as you think. Yeah, we want rid of it and all that and back to normal. But you see some kids there out today, and the kids are walking outdoors this weather with masks on alone from school. Them kids are going to be in fear for illness the rest of their lives.
Well, they said that you needed the vaccination. They were saying to people, if you want to go on holiday, then we found out the other week off Max Steel, didn't we, that 2 American airlines had refused to take you on if you had the jab. Now Spanish and Russian airlines are refusing to take people on if they've had it. So I
don't listen to none of it. I just get on with my life. I don't listen to it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. At the end of the day, it's just one of them things. It's just like swine flu was going to kill us all. The red death, the black, the plague.
You've got to, you know.
There's
got two people.
There's always something going to come about us.
What's your views on the vaccine? They're saying.
I don't know. Really, tell you. I don't think
we're not having it, are we?
I'll tell you, Matt.
We've had the COVID.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a really strong flu virus. I don't think you need the vaccine. I think the vaccine's just. We got told by a lad who makes it, it's £800 to have the vaccine, £400 for each shot. It doesn't cost that much to make. So these pharmaceutical companies are the richest people in the world, and these geneticists can change it. You don't need it.
Someone's making trillions and trillions and trillions of pounds out of it, and they're also scaring people. If the vaccine works that much, I know at least 4 people who've had a double dose of the vaccine and retested for COVID.
Yeah.
I think most people, unless you're seriously ill, their own defences will fight that body. And what you've got to say, regardless of what, nobody knows what the side effects of that vaccine is.
No, because it doesn't.
Immediate ones, some people have been ill.
Well, people have
died on it. I know one person who the only side effect he had of that vaccine was sudden death.
Yeah, I know a few people who've had it, and you know what they can't do? They can't lift their arm up the shoulder. They're frozen. And they went in, they said there's about 20 people gone there in the arm, and they can't lift their arm past the can't get over. He said it might be like that forever. So you can't sue them because it's a trial.
I know,
you can't sue them for it.
If it's that good, why hasn't lockdown ended totally today?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're just trying to push it further, and with the young
ones. Well, they've admitted now that it's all been a mess up. Even Facebook covering it up and all that, haven't they?
And I think this Matt Hancock, who doesn't have a clue about medicine, he'd been given contracts with other things to his family worth millions of pounds. I think he should be jailed. I really do think he should be jailed, no matter what.
We don't know what they're talking about. I mean, your body has been here hundreds of thousands of years. We've been here on this planet. We've beat all the red deaths, the AIDS, all the other thing. Our immune system, the white blood cells build up. Once you build them white cells up, it gets rid of it. Once you get a cold, you don't get the same cold back again. So I don't know what they're on about.
Have faith in the human body.
Our mum never had 6 kids. She had 6 kids, and she never had one of us vaccinated against measles, mumps, or what's it called, chickenpox or anything like that. And we've never had one injection. The worst thing I ever got was whooping cough, and I've had nothing wrong with me.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the people have got it, people have died.
People have got it, and people have died.
90% of them are old people.
Well, a lot of them are older.
And did you know this? And most people who've had it have died, haven't had vitamin D in the body.
Yeah,
it's a lack of vitamin D.
Yeah.
It's one of the main things.
L71, hello, Kev.
Hello,
thank you for the wishes about my dad.
You're
As
welcome.
did Brian, and his ashes are at his birthplace in their car.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on about this last night. You're gonna go and take some
flowers there.
Flowers.
Yeah.
If you let us know, was it on the beach or something?
Just whereabouts.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
We just talked about that last night.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. That,
But don't sit worrying about viruses and making yourself.
Yeah, you make yourself ill if you.
If this could happen, if that could happen, this could happen, that could happen. You know. I
mean, when they make these statistics, Brian, another thing that really does annoy me to a certain extent is and it's the news. The main news will say 2 people have died today who've died within 28 days of having the virus. What's all that about? Yeah. So it's like me having a headache now.
Yeah.
And I got rid of the headache, but in 3 weeks time, I have a heart attack. And they say, he's died because of the headache. Open up your mind.
You're right honest. A lot of people are really intelligent, and a lot of people who are like billionaires and that don't watch the news.
Yeah,
it drags you down and it makes you depressed. A kid's been raped today, a man's been stabbed, somebody's been shot. And I don't listen to it because that's what's made up to let people want to. Same as newspapers, they don't read them. No, I'm not interested.
I think if it allows people to be more clean with the hygiene, like washing their hands and that's always a good thing, the gels, but to have all these masks on, walking the street, kids and that, and then all these royals at Ascot, cuddling together, one rule for one, not for the other, you know. Give us our freedom, let us back out.
I think it was as bad as to catch it. We'd have had a lot more, because you've got to remember when the virus starts, it's at its strongest. Why would you wear a mask a year later when the virus has been out from day one? It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, you should have had the mask from day one.
Yeah, you could agree. Yeah. But look after your own health. Get some nice vitamins, eat some good foods, get plenty of stuff down.
I think the human body is a marvellous thing, isn't it? And I think the immune system and all that was created. And it's like a machinery inside, isn't it, how it works? And I think when you start getting vaccines injected into you and putting the actual disease into you and stuff like that, your immune system can fight it off. God created us like that, didn't he?
I mean, how did people live years ago? I mean, we were just talking about the Wallace years and that, walking from Scotland, didn't have a map or a field or a road or anything to York, taking weeks to get there, killing people in all sorts of weather. They didn't have a pillow to sleep on and out, We are lucky today, very, very lucky, embrace it. Cherish your lives, don't live in fear, thinking, I seen an old woman the other day, God bless her. I was in Lidl, I turned the corner and she body swerved me quicker than Ronaldo would. But unfortunately, he fell into a can of beans, a set of beans I had to grab hold of her. All because she didn't want to go and eat me.
Oh, because of that.
We had a mask on as well, but,
Well, I walked into the bank. The woman said, "Who would have thought in a million years Brian Cockerill could walk into Barclays Bank without the armed response arresting him with a mask on?"
With a mask on, yeah.
He's seen this and all.
Another thing I'd like to thank my kids yesterday. I got, as you can imagine, Father's Day cards off them and all that and what have you. And I had a bit of good crack with them. And Heidi sent a little one, says, this song reminds Bram of you, Kev. And one of them, we was saying Harry Brown, the old film where the old bloke goes killing all the arseholes. Yeah. And the other one was my daddy was a bank robber.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, I was never a bank robber. I always wanted to work.
May have been in the post office.
I always wanted to work for the post office, mind. I was always after the post office employment.
I was wondering why they never used to give you a gyro in the post office.
Not a bank robber, no chance. Yeah. I hope everyone had a good Father's Day yesterday. And all the mothers who were on their own, bringing up kids, and all the fathers who were on their own, bringing up kids. I think Father's Day,
all the people are on their own, bringing up themselves.
Yeah, bringing up themselves. Yeah, me included. I'm bringing up myself every day.
You've just got to take life by the horns and live every day as if it was your last day, because one day it will be.
Yeah.
And you moan about this when you're young, but I do it myself. But at the end of the day, life's left living.
Yeah.
It's not what's sitting, what's going to happen. I might not be able to pay this. My car, it's just a house, it's just a car, it's just material, it's just a computer, it's just a phone. It means nothing. Your health means more than anything. If you've got your health and your mind, you can do anything.
Yeah, watch some good films. I watched another film just on my own at the end of the night the other night, and I've watched it a number of times. It's Clint Eastwood in The Line of Fire, where he's the president's bodyguard.
Yeah.
And the bloke who's the C10 man, is that what they call him?
John Malkovich.
C10 man, the wet boy. He plays a great part in him, you know.
Yeah.
And the funniest part I like the film is where he's got this gun which is made of whatever,
stuff, yeah.
and he's at the pond, and them two shooters come over saying, "What's that?" And they say, "Can you have a go of it?" And then shoots a duck.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Yeah, it's nice that, yeah, what have you got it for?" And dead seriously says, "Well, I'm going to kill the president."
Yeah.
"What do you want to do with that, boy?" And he says, "What did you kill them ducks for, arsehole?"
Yeah.
Dead seriously, and he sits down looking at the water. Don't be doing that, like, but I'm just saying it was a good film. Yeah. And I want to watch just for a really good laugh again, Billy Liar, the black and white.
We know someone.
I know. Billy Liar.
I phoned you up, didn't I? I said, "You won't believe this."
Same time as I said.
And he phoned up me and he went, "I know you're going to say." I said, "Billy Liar." And
Billy Liar, he knew what I was saying.
And I was going, and everything in it, he wanted to be an author.
Yeah.
He pretended to be an author. He was working at a graveyard, but like undertakers.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got my manuscript. I'm coming to London. Yes, I'm coming. He was talking to no one on the phone. Yes, I will be there. I've got the manuscript. Yes, I've written a story about him. Yes, we'll do a movie. Yes, I can do that. Yes, he's on the phone to the army. Yes, I'm in the army, an army officer. Yes, we'll march down there. Yes, I've been trained by the army.
In the band, in the marching
band. In the band. He's like, yeah, yes, I can drive a bus. I'm coming to the bus.
And he's
there with the slap.
His end outcome is he wants to go to London on the train and takes his girlfriend.
And guess
and
what?
then his bottle goes and he gets up to get a carton of milk.
And guess what? The one we're on about down there now.
Yeah, Billy Boyle. Billy Liar. Billy Liar Boyle.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, when that came on that night, it's about 2 o'clock on it. And we started watching it with just started half an hour. It's absolute just.
I said, this is just take the PISS because this is him to a T, you know.
It wants to be this,
wants to be everything.
Wants to be in the marching band, you know.
He's a soldier, he pretend to be a policeman.
Likes to be near the kids, you know. Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Shocking, isn't it? Yeah.
The story. Billy Liar. We believe that was when Marty was a good one.
Do you remember he got
engaged?
Yeah.
He got engaged to one girl, he was engaged to another girl. He got the ringing picture up there, just lying to every money about everything. It's him. You've got to watch it. It's him.
And then where did he get a job?
It's in the Undertakers. Then he pretended he was going to be an author.
Then he was didn't he pinch all the mail or something?
Yeah, he's pinching all something to do with the mail, didn't he? Out the post office or something. He was trying to get rid of it. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's him in it.
That is him.
It is. You'd think it would be him. He even looks like him actually.
Yeah, it looks like him. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. She was going. This is. We couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
We were on the bed
watching it. Watch
Billy Liar.
Tom Courtney. You watch it. It's black and white film. It's hilarious.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Man, at least train in the end to get a pint of milk, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't get back on. He's pulling Gelb and going.
You'd think it was written a script for him. Yeah.
On the other serious note as well, again, I'd just like to mention how good Bry's recovery starting to go, because a few weeks ago, I'll be honest with you, I thought, you know, and when he said the doctor said,
what did you think, Kevin, when you first seen him that first Friday?
Well, when he was walking, he was shaking like Muhammad Ali was, you know, and then when he said the doctor said it could be a few years, I hoped for the best but feared the worst.
What did you think?
But I always thought he'd pull through it.
Did you?
Superman never tells that. Yeah. I always knew he would get there. I had faith. But then when you visually see him today, I thought it would be a lot more weeks, a lot more. I'm sat here was having a laugh. Then,
I had to improve for the people out there because everyone's going mad. Where's Kevin at? Where's Kevin at? I'm getting the blame because I'm bad. Yeah. Kevin's getting off with it. He's having the tea all the time in the pub, eating haggis and with the Scots and the English. And I'm sat there on this hospital bed, agony with the neck, but the pain, you've got to just go through it. And then you know you're going to get better. But the good thing is Matty Chan has been, and I can feel my hand and my arm now for the first time in 14 years in my hand. That one's a little bit numb. I can still feel it. I feel my face. Couldn't feel my face. All my nerves were all crushed. When we had, like I say, the 5 vertebrae were all crushed, so they've sorted them out. put the spinal column right as well, but they did nick my spinal thingy. We found out, didn't we?
Yeah, you were saying that sounded really concerning.
A dual tear under C5.
We didn't know.
It was an emergency. They had to do it.
It's only 1 in a 500 operation. It's actually a very small thing, isn't it? What happened, but it's a serious thing. So they had to actually glue the tendon, I think, wasn't it? And then put some type of glue and sutures in it. I mean, so that's why it took 7 hours to do the operation.
It's a risk of sudden death and paralysation, isn't it? You know, and I think obviously with them first few weeks when you were in this intense pain and disabled to a big extent.
Well, I couldn't lift my hand up. I couldn't lift my hand up. I couldn't move my neck. It was just completely gone. I'm moving it now. I'm moving about. I'm getting up, so I'm definitely getting there. But this hand's still really bad. Yeah. About 75% bad. This one's about 80% better now. I couldn't move it at all, so it's getting there. So
I think it's reassuring and therapy for anyone else watching.
Yeah,
even if you're ill with any form of illnesses or diseases, you know how much your mind can be a positive thing. It doesn't have to be positive all the time. Yeah, you're going to feel down and maybe tearful sometimes, but look at how you're going to get better.
I was lucky. I had because I said one day, I feel like effing killing myself. I said, I'm going to kill myself. So, well, how are you going to kill yourself? I'll just get a knife out of the kitchen and cut my wrist. He said, well, how are you going to get there? You can't walk and your hands are paralysed. So it made me laugh.
So that humour made him laugh.
Said, I've had enough. He said, I'm going to kill myself. So he said, just pass me all the morphine. So I said, no, I'm not. So he said, that's all right. I'll just do it myself. Then take coffee. And then I went, how are you going to do that, right? And he said, go get a knife. And I said, do what with it? He said, slip me on foot. I said, well, how are we going to get a knife? He said,